What is up, everybody? Hey, I don't know if I look any clearer to you guys or not, but I'm trying to run things through my actual camera, so it should look a little bit cooler. Tell me if I look clearer. I don't know anything about these things, but it's pretty neat. Hey, I did some fun stuff today. I don't know what you guys have been up to, but check this out. I want to show you this video because I thought that it was awesome. I got this book, okay, from Instagram actually, and it is called the Adventure Challenge, okay, and it is where you take a book and you take your whole family, and inside there are scratch offs, and you scratch off an adventure, and whatever it is, you have to do it, okay, like whatever it is. So our first one was going to Walmart to go pick up a, what do they call those things? Piñata. To go pick up a piñata and beat it up kung fu style. So I just want to show you like a little clip from that because I thought it was awesome.
All right, go.
So I'd already let my daughter punch on this thing for a while. I'd already let her punch on it for a little while, but it was so much fun that, you know, I went like, you know, all the way. I did not stop with just buying the piñata and putting candy in it. I bought glitter because I was like, if you're going to punch a piñata that is a unicorn, like what do you want to come out? So I just like loaded that thing with glitter. Hey, by the way, Cadence is in the chat right now. It is her birthday today, so tell her happy birthday in the chat because she is showing up on her birthday, which is awesome. So yeah, tell her that. All right, so hey, we are gonna play a game, okay? And this game is called something about a mask, like what's underneath that mask. All right, so here we go. What's behind that mask? Okay, that's what we're gonna play. All right, so what's behind that mask? All you guys are gonna try to do in the comment section is just tell me what is behind that mask. Okay, all right, so here we go. Okay, so what is the status of Chris Pratt's mouth behind this mask? Okay, does he have A, an open mouth, B, A, a closed mouth, B, an open mouth, C, an open mouth with tongue out? What's up? What do you guys think? All right, we got an A. Okay, Chris is answering right away. Cadence the B. All right, here's the answer. I'll throw it out. It is closed, all right? It is closed. Good, yeah, good guesses. All right, what about this one? Which Chris... Oh, yes, Bryce's commentary. Love it. Lit cigarette. Gross. Which Chris will you find behind this mask? All right, we added the hat, make it a little bit tougher. Is it Chris Evans, A, Chris Hemsworth, B, or Chris Pine, C? I'll give you a hint. I have no idea who any of these Chris's are. Chris Reed. It could be him underneath that hat. Look at that. Look at that. Yes, the answer is Chris Pine. Good job. Bonus, tell me what he plays in because I've seen him before, but I can't place him. Now, here is... Yes, change your answer to D. Here is one that I love. Kanye, all right? This guy has the most, like... ambiguous face ever. You can't read it. You don't know what's up. So what do you think? Is he snarling, straight-faced, or smiling? Oh, you guys are good. You guys are good. Seeing lots of C's, saying that he's smiling. But guess what? Boom! Straight-faced Kanye. I don't know what's happening, but, you know, Kanye can, like, smile with his eyes, but then the bottom half of his face just be, like, straight serious, all right? Okay, so what do we find Lady Gaga doing behind this mask, okay? Is she puckering, gasping, or smirking, all right? Is she puckering, gasping, or smirking? What do you guys think? Gasping, yeah. Yeah, I see that. Being humble, which comes naturally to him. I don't know about that. It is puckering. Puckering. Lady Gaga's got the confusing face as well. D, whatever Bryce writes. That's awesome. All right, what's the status of Jennifer Lawrence's mouse? Her pet mouse. It's behind the mask. What's the status of her mouth behind that mask? Is it open, closed, or open with the tongue out? Right? Chris Pratt fooled us earlier. Closed, open with tongue out. I already gave it away. Open with tongue out. Open with tongue out. All right, these are not all going to be celebrities. So if you're not good at looking at celebrities, this is the last one right here. All right, what are we going to discover? What are we going to disco ever on Brad Pitt's face when we remove the mask? A, a clean shave. B, a beard. Or C, a mustache. What do you guys think? Which version of Brad Pitt are we seeing? Yep. Going with the bearded Brad. It is mustache Brad. Weird. Mustache, come on. There are only two people in this world that can pull off a mustache. My dad and Sam Crawford, though Mia may disagree. A DVD of Ocean's 12. All right, here, we're moving on to different stuff. How many teeth will be missing on this kid when we remove the mask? What do you guys think? How many teeth are going to be missing? A1, B2, C4. Yes. Going big. Going big with the 4. I see it. The answer is 2. I don't know who this kid is, by the way. He's just missing 2 teeth. Also a DVD of Ocean's 12. That's funny. All right, what type of mouth does this emoji have behind the mask? Is it straight-faced, half-round, or no mouth? How well can you read an emoji? You may or may not notice that my shirt will be wet when the video turns back on because I may or may not have spilled some stuff. It is a no mouth emoji. A no mouth. That's like, I'm not saying anything, you know? The salsa dancing girl behind the mask. All right, now we're going into animals and food. Pull off the mask, and what are you going to find in this dog's mouth? Is it A, a biscuit, B, a bird, or C, a pacifier? What do you think? Yes, it is a pacifier. Right there. Look at that dog with that pacifier in its mouth. That is crazy. Grandma's dentures. That would be amazing. That would be really amazing. All right, last one. What topping is missing behind the mask of this double deluxe cheeseburger? What topping is missing behind the mask of this golly, I really want a double cheeseburger, I guess. Deluxe cheeseburger. Is it mayo, bacon, or onion? That's right. You guys know what's up. It is only deluxe when you add that bacon, and it is missing from this cheeseburger. Missing. All right, so, hey, we are going to switch scenes here. Hey! Welcome back. Okay, so, right here. That's where I spilled my drink. So today's sermon was on faith. Okay, today's sermon was on faith, and faith is one of the subjects that I love talking about. And when we have that discussion, there is one video in particular that always comes to mind. So I'm going to try to share this with you guys. I think that I can share it without the video getting taken down, okay? But just in case it gets taken down, here's what I want you to remember. youtube.com/CWC Youth. Okay, that's our new URL. It's super short, super easy. Also, if you are not subscribed yet, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because then when we go live, you will get a notification on your phone anytime that we go live, which is going to be, which helps for knowing when we're going live or when we get kicked off and restart streams. All right, but I'm going to show it to you. I might have to provide my own commentary. Actually, you know what? Let's cue up some music, and maybe that'll help not get anything on there, because it's streaming music. Here we go. Yes. Some epic music. Here we go. I think we can do this now. It looks exactly like the rest of that cliff face there. I don't know if you guys could hear me in the midst of all of that, but yeah, I love this, because Indiana Jones, he walks out, all he can see below him is this like bottomless chasm, this pit, and he is looking at this book, and the book is saying, this is what you got to do, right? This is how you're, to get to where you need to go, this is what you need to do. And he's looking at it going, if I do this, I'm going to die. But he has to take this leap of faith that he's going to make it, or something's going to happen or something. So he takes it. He gets caught on that ledge that's painted exactly like the cliff below, and he's safe. And I think that Pastor Arley this morning, as he was going through everything, he said it in a way that I've never thought of before, and I really like the way that he said it. And that was that a lot of times we think about faith as a noun, right? It's like something that you have. You have faith or you don't have faith, and da-da-da-da. And he said, instead we should be thinking of faith like a verb. You do faith, right? Because you can have faith that you're gonna survive that cliff step, right? Like Indiana Jones. But actually, like, doing faith, actually having faith in the verb sense, is when you take that step off of the end of the ledge, and you're caught, right? It's like it's that act of stepping beyond your control, and trusting in God. And I think that there's, I always find myself in these crazy situations, crazy circumstances in life. And I think it's because I take a lot of these steps, right? And it is just like a muscle in any other way. If you're going to the gym or something like that, like you start with the smaller weights, you can take smaller steps, and work yourself up bigger, and bigger. And so, this is like a very easy example. I was out fishing when was that? Yesterday. I was out fishing yesterday. It was Saturday. And it was myself and Kaya and Yana, and we're like, okay, we're going to try to stay distant from everyone else, but not try to stay distant from the fish, because we want to get some and we want to eat them, but we go out to like Sunbury or something like that. I found some place that we could hike for a little bit and then go fishing. And guys, I got to tell you, like, I grew up in Florida, and you fish with like shrimp, and it's easy. I feel like I've been out fishing like 8 times since I've lived here, and I've never caught anything. And so I go out, and there's this guy that's more than 6 feet away from me, and I'm like, hey man, let me know if I'm doing something wrong or if I'm messing you up or something, because I literally don't have any idea what I'm doing out here. And so we start to have a conversation, and I feel like something is just saying, continue to talk to this guy, continue to meet with him. And we end up, he ends up giving me a couple different lures to fish with. And then I start asking him about different areas, and he sends me over to a different area, like 15 minutes away, to go fishing. And there are actually supposed to be fish in the water. Apparently I can't find them though. And so he sends me over this place like 15 minutes away, and Yana and Kai and I get in our car and we go fishing down there. I'm not catching anything, but he tells me to add him on Facebook. I'm like, okay. So I add him on Facebook, and he messages me probably 45 minutes later, and he's like, hey, I'm heading over to you guys. I'm gonna step in with you until you catch a fish. And so I'm like, okay, come on over. Like, so it's kind of this, could be an uncomfortable situation, right? Where you're like, I don't know this guy, he gave me an address on the middle of nowhere. I could show up, then he's telling me he's going to meet me out there. Like, he could murder me, but, but I, just felt like this was a really good connection. And so I continued to be open to this whole process. We end up having a great conversation. The guy tells me, we get over to the other area, and he's like, so what do you do for a living? And I'm like, well, I'm a youth pastor over at Christ Wesleyan Church in Milton. And he's like, really? Okay. Do you know this one guy that goes over there? And I was like, I don't know. So I looked him up in the system. I was like, yeah, he does go to our church. That's pretty cool. And he's like, okay, yeah, like we went to high school together, or something like that. He's like, yeah, my girlfriend's really into religion and stuff like that. But, it's always been like, meh, I'm not really sure about it for me. And he said, but you know what? Last time I was fishing, I started talking with a guy like you and I were talking, and he was a youth pastor too. So I feel like maybe God is trying to tell me something. And I was like, what? That is so cool. So, just this cool connection that was this God moment for, a small God moment to start with for this guy. But that happened because I stepped out of that kind of comfort zone there and was like, God, I feel like you're doing something with this. I don't know what it is. And the cool thing about faith is, like, it's going to look so different. It can look so different in all the different ways that God wants us to implement it in our life. So as we're going through Pastor Arley's message, he talked about how faith is more than belief. It's more than just a feeling, that faith is personal, right? And that it's active. It's like a verb. And another way that he described it is that faith is fidelity or loyalty, right? And when we talk about being loyal to Jesus, what that means is like that Jesus is calling us to offer our abilities and our passions, our gifts to him for his service, right? And it's this whole thing of like Mark 8:35 that says, if you try to hang on to your life, you'll lose it. But if you give up your life for my sake, for the sake of the good news, you'll save it. We can take all of those things that God has given us and God has blessed us with, and we can use those for kingdom uses, right? Which can be kind of scary at first, because when you're surrendering to God, I feel like a lot of times we go, if I surrender to God, if I put my faith in him that he's going to use this stuff, then he might actually ask me to do something. Right? Like, and that like fear of being asked to do something that maybe you don't want to do holds back a lot of people from activating their faith, from putting their faith into action, right? And God is not going to call every single person to like Zambia or like somewhere out in the middle of nowhere, Africa or something. God has created you, and he knows exactly how you can best be used. And so when he's going to call you into something, it's going to be something that is personal and that makes your faith alive. But when Jesus is calling us to follow him, he's asking us to pledge our allegiance to him. When I was in Nashville, I saw this a lot more. I don't know if you guys have this around here, but they're like secret societies. What do they call those guys? It is like in my hometown, they had like the Moose Lodge. Oh man, they're in all of the National Treasure people, I don't know what they're called. I can't remember. Someone type it in the comments below if you know what I'm talking about. And they like wear the hats and they do all the secret society stuff. I think it starts with an M. It's not Mennonites. They're not a secret society. Freemasons. That's it. Freemasons. Not the Secret Service. Yeah, like the Freemasons. There's a line. I don't know if it's in the Wesleyan discipline, but in the Nazarene manual, there's a line in there that you're not allowed to be a member of the Church of the Nazarene, and be a member in a secret society. And the reason that they had it in their manual was that the secret societies ask you to pledge allegiance to them above anything else, right? When we believe that God is calling us to pledge our allegiance to him before anyone else, right? That we say what we identify as before anything else is a child of God, right? Is being a part of the kingdom of God. Romans 6:16 says this: don't you realize that you become the slave of whatever you obey? Don't you realize that you become the slave of whatever you choose to obey? You can be a slave to sin, which leads to death, or you can choose to obey God, which leads to a righteous living. That's a powerful verse right there. Romans 6:16. Don't you realize that you become a slave of whatever you choose to obey? You can be a slave to sin, which leads to death, or you can choose to obey God, which leads to righteous living. And so then we see, like when we start activating that faith, when we start actually doing the verb of faith, it starts being evidenced in different areas of your life, right? First of all, I mean, you're saved by faith, but then as you start to live by it, you start to walk obediently by faith. As you start to believe by faith and trust by faith, your life is going to start to look different from the world around you. And I think the best phrase that I've ever heard for this is leading a questionable life. That your life will look so different and should look so different that people will ask questions about why your life is the way that it is, right? And so I want to talk about this a little bit more. And let me see how many people we got on. Okay, we got 13 on right now. I think it would be pretty cool right now. It's 6:30. We'll take the next, 20 minutes or so. I'm going to type in a Zoom link down below in the chat. And why don't you guys hop on to my Zoom with me, and then we'll go through some questions together. Just all as one big group. I like the Sunday night group in that it's a little bit smaller. If you're new with us or if this is your first time joining with us, jump in, right? We want to get to know you. And so we'll do that. I'm going to copy the invitation right here. Can I paste it right into that? No, it's not. Let me paste into that. Okay, so I should be able to. Good thing we are now at youtube.com/CWC Youth. One small, big, small group. That's right. Did that work out? There you go. If you need the password, meeting ID, all that stuff's in there, but you should be able to just click the link and start jumping in. I will approve you guys as you come over. And then once everyone is over, and right in the chat, like if you can't jump in for some reason, I can keep it kind of live, but I think I'd probably just end the YouTube as people start jumping in, right? So click it, jump it in. Hey, tell me guys, was my YouTube video clearer tonight? Like the quality? Yeah? Okay. Yeah, I'm running it through my DSLR camera right now. Really? I wonder if I did ultra small or ultra, I don't know. I have like latency settings, and if I lower the lag between the software that I use and like YouTube, then it can make it buffer or something. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out the balance. But it looked like the video quality was better. Who is Ruth? That's Ivana? No, that's Nadia. Okay, I'm typing to see if Nadia can join in. Who's chilling out? She said yes, but I don't know what that means. Nadia, what is yes mean? Does Zoom let you choose your green screen? Oh no. So I can't. All right. All right. Well, I'm not sure if they're gonna join me on there, so maybe I can screen share. Let me. I just downloaded a new app, so let me double check some audio settings. So, okay. So the speaker there has to be same as system. And then all right, so the speaker should be over there. Okay, so let me go screen share. And then we'll pull this over. We'll look at our Zoom. Boom! All right, so that's over there. But, oh, man. Matthew Terwilliger, he's just been waiting for us. He's so patient. He's so patient. Okay, hey, Chris, say something real quick.
Hello? Or, I guess, something?
Oh, hey, I think it works. I think I set it the correct settings now to where everyone on YouTube can hear us. I guess we'll find out later. Hey, if you're on YouTube, can you hear other people talk right now? Give me some
Wait, I can try.
feedbacks.
Well, there is still a delay on YouTube, so...
Right. Yeah, there is.
Oh, yeah, it works.
Yes! Hey, we're learning stuff every day. But on my Zoom, yeah, okay. That's interesting. Okay, so because Zoom doesn't allow my camera to come through. Okay, so learning little bits every day. Oh, okay. It gets to struggling once I pull in that stuff. Okay, so that's all set and correct. Cool. All right. Have you guys ever nice? Have you guys ever pledged your allegiance to something before?
The flag of the United States of America?
What does that mean?
I have no clue.
Like, we have said that since the beginning of our lives. I pledge allegiance to the flag.
Not to the country.
Not to the country, just the flag. Did you guys go through that? Let me see if there's someone else trying to jump in. I see something in the chat. Jonathan Klein coming in. Tyler, you look more like a blurry city than a man. Yeah, hey, Tyler, you have to click off green screen.
Off green screen?
Yeah. Inside of that menu. Don't click green screen. You can still click the other one, just don't have green screen on.
How do you do that?
Are you inside your virtual camera settings?
Yes.
So in that setting, there is something that says, or virtual background, down below all the stuff, just unclick the thing that says, I have a green screen.
It says your computer doesn't meet the minimum requirements to use this feature without a green screen.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Well, that stinks.
That was the same problem I just had.
Oh, wow. I'll be blurry.
Well, here, I'll share all of my great ones that I downloaded the other day. Hey, check this out. This is going to be awesome, okay? We're waiting for everyone else to come in. We're still waiting for people to jump in, so watch this. Next time I'm in staff meeting, no one tell on me, but I can go like this.
Oh, no. What is it?
But my re-entry just has to be, I'll be like...
You just have to hope they don't ask you a question and you're just like...
There is sometimes where I'm listening to it and I just find myself going like this, and I was like, man, I really need a background of that, because I can still hear everything, but I want to be like eating a sandwich.
Well, that's just called mute your audio.
Yeah,
Oh, wait,
but then
no,
I don't want to be that guy like...
Oh, never mind. Yeah, I was going to say mute the audio, but
Oh, here we go.
there's still the video.
Here's a good.
Chin chin.
Yeah, I'm nowhere in particular.
I feel like we need Sam for this one.
Yeah, no idea where Chris is. I don't think I've ever been there. That's a good one, Eddie.
Ba, ba.
You like my new house?
I haven't seen yours. Where's yours?
I always knew Tyler lived in a bubble.
Tyler, I can't even see you at all. Oh, that's right. I forgot I did this one. Whoa, hey.
Oh, darn it.
Just rickroll everyone in the background. All right, so pledging allegiance to the flag. You guys have said you have no idea how that changed anything in any way. What about a book or something that you've read where someone pledged their allegiance to something and they were over the top? You guys have any examples? Something you can think of? I think about in Toy Story, they have those little alien creatures. You know? And they're they have pledged their allegiance to the claw, right? The claw.
Yeah.
Tyler, that was you for Halloween, right?
And who will stay?
That's right. And everything is all about the claw. What are some other stuff? Could be a cause. Could be a government. Nadia! Cadence! Matt Terwilliger! They're all jumping back.
There we go.
Yeah, Matt T in the chat put for the Pledge of Allegiance that it says, "And to the kingdom for which it stands." I
Yeah.
never really thought of the United States as a kingdom because it doesn't have a king. Which is kind of interesting. How many of you guys, do any of you guys have, I don't know if I see this as much around here, but it's somewhere around middle school or high school when all of a sudden people can take on a totally different identity. You'll know them and they're just this, I don't know, country bumpkin or something like that. And then all of a sudden they are goth or skateboarders or, something wild like that. Does that happen around here? Really?
Not all of a sudden. Not all of a sudden, but I've seen it happen gradually before.
Really? I think when I was in high school, it was a summer thing, It was they'd come back from the summer and it was who are you? When did you start hunting? When did you become a vegan? Things would just change all of a sudden. I think of when someone's allegiance suddenly changes like that. I think of someone that enters into situations like that. It's every aspect of them is now filtered through this other thing. What is happening? Cadence, if you screen share, then it takes up all of our screens.
Nice panda.
That was a nice panda. It's your birthday, so we'll let it slide. So if you were let's say you're explaining allegiance to a friend, how would you explain allegiance to somebody? Allegiance.
Well, for pledging allegiance to God, but I would say it's kind of something that comes to mind when I think about that is mortals who like refuse to denounce Christianity and stuff. But like, I wouldn't say that that's how I pledge allegiance to like the flag and to the kingdom and stuff. But it's kind of like that idea of like you stand like you're a part of it, and so like you stand for what you say you're a part of in the pledge and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. We do the Christian flag at Meadowbrook, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And a Bible.
And the Bible. Okay.
Yep.
How does the Bible one go?
I forget.
It was
What?
just an elementary.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was
okay.
in elementary, so it's
Yeah,
been, like,
after
5
that,
years
they're
since
like,
we've done it.
listen, throw the Bible out the window.
we barely do the flags anymore in high school too. So
Oh, really?
yeah,
Unless you're in Mr. Ream's class.
yeah.
I think that the church I went to I think they did this, but I'm not sure. I might have still been sleeping at this time during service. I think the church that I went to in high school, I think they pledged allegiance to the flag. To the Christian flag. And then I think they pledged allegiance to the regular flag, like in service. It was kind of weird. But I'm pretty sure that happened at least for a little while. They for sure had the flags like up on stage. And also the senior pastor and all of the pastors on staff would sit on the stage the whole time. Like in these like throne chairs. It was really weird. They don't do that
Eddie.
anymore.
They used to have flags up on this wall.
Oh, don't they
They still
still
do.
do?
Yep.
Yeah, this wall.
Oh wait, where?
This one.
I felt like I could reach through my camera and point into yours.
Right, this way.
The wall,
This
the
way.
cafeteria side.
Do they still do? They still do?
No, they took them
North
down.
side.
I mean, I do feel like we're a very
When did they take them down?
patriotic church.
Sometimes they put them back up though.
Okay, I haven't seen them back up.
No, they're in storage somewhere.
They for sure had the flags like up on stage. Hey, I can hear myself in someone else's thing.
That's
It's
from
always
the
weird
YouTube
hearing-
video. I'm
Yeah, it's
pretty
always
sure.
weird hearing yourself through how everyone else hears it, you know?
They used to have flags.
They used to have flags. Okay, so what are your thoughts when Pastor Arlie mentioned this morning about faith not being just a noun, but also like being a verb instead? That we should treat faith as a verb instead of just a noun. What do you guys think about that? Mia, welcome back. I can unmute you. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope, I can't hear you. It might be in your... Are you joined in audio? Like down on the bottom left?
Yeah, she's not muted.
What if you hit... Are you on your Mac or on your other thing?
Oh, poor me.
If you're on your Mac, hit Command and then Spacebar and then type in sound. And see if something comes up.
Or you just try holding this piece closer to your mouth, maybe.
No, there's like no sound coming through her. Or it's probably because I perma-muted you. Just kidding. I didn't do that. So, if you're in the sound menu, you would go to Output and make sure you have the correct thing clicked. I've been messing around with live streaming on mine. I have like 12 output signals. Wow. That was an exaggeration. Here, let me look and see so I can be accurate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still nothing? Or you could go into your Zoom preferences and look at audio there. Or maybe it's just broken forever.
Maybe we don't want to hear.
It could be something with headphones, even.
Do you know sign language?
No,
saying
what?
something.
What was that, Mia? What?
She's like, what if I take this out?
Huh? Sorry, I don't speak Mia.
Helicopter.
Tyler, I will kick you out of this room.
I'm joking.
Sure.
Mia, does the device you're using have a microphone built in, or do you have to use the microphone on your headphone?
Yeah, I guess
It
that
says
is a
she's
good thing
connecting
of-
to audio. Nothing.
Nope.
What if we could all
That's
hear her the whole
weird.
time?
She's like blasting.
Yeah,
Can she hear us? Can you hear us?
well, yeah, she can hear us. It's just we can't hear her.
But no one can see you, Tyler.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
No, hold on. He's next to two guacamoles.
You can kind of see me. I'm a ghost.
Oh my.
no, you're just in front of a window.
You're like the music video to that Aha
No,
song.
this is the
What
That's
do
probably
you
part
got-
of it.
What do you guys think about my impersonation of Tyler?
what? You guys got fuzzy.
Wait, what are the thing? Oh, it's like anything remotely green. Why is your camera so green? You can't see
Well,
my
no.
eyes because they're green or something.
Well,
Wow, you guys sound really weird.
Tyler's has his thing set for
Guys,
a green screen, which he doesn't have.
guys, look, it's
That's
an
the
invisibility
issue.
cloak.
After a quarter of a second,
I just now realized that phones can't even do virtual backgrounds, period.
Did we lose Mia? She got frustrated. She's like, I'm leaving.
Bye, Mia.
I will not be mocked.
She's probably restarting her
Oh,
computer.
you can change.
oh, there we
But
go.
then, will she
You
have?
guys
Yep.
sounded weird.
That's just your end, Tyler.
All right, so the. Oh, okay. You sent me a video. Yeah. So
Yeah, you sound weird.
the faith is an action. What do you guys think about that? Danny, Jonathan, feel free to chime in. Jonathan, I would love just to hear your voice. I haven't heard your voice in forever. Not forever, but like a long time. Does he exist? Is he really there? He could be a bot.
Oh,
What do you guys think? Is that a confusing thing to you, or are you like, no, okay? Nadia, what do you think? I know you're in there. I don't know where she is on your guys' screen. That's where she's on mine. No, she's here. She might not be listening. Dan, what about you? I think you're in there.
Can you say the question again?
Yeah, so Faith. Wait, we're gonna see if we can hear Mia now.
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you!
Yay! I had
and
to-
it's working now?
Shut up. I had to go, I had to go on my iPad.
Oh.
Being stupid.
yeah, I went to my phone because of the same reason.
Oh, that's.
Were you on your Mac or were you on your Chrome?
I was on my Mac, yeah.
What?
Oh no, Eddie's favorite object.
Man, it must be Zoom. It must be Zoom.
Yeah.
Yep, Apple always unreliable.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dan, it was. What are your thoughts on faith being a verb instead of just a noun? Like that faith is something that you do, not just something that you have. Or how it might be better to think about it like that.
Well. Sorry. And I can't think today. Well, I mean, it's good to, faith should be a verb rather than a noun because that means you are personally, you know, having faith. Did I just change what I was saying? I feel like I just dropped off. Okay, so, Mia, what do you have to say?
No, I want to hear what you have to say.
No, I'm good.
All right. Does everyone know how to raise your hand on this thing? How do you raise your hand?
Yes.
Well, I guess we could just raise our physical hands. I don't know how to raise. How do you do the raise
Bam,
hand?
I'll show you. Wait, where is it?
So, Eddie, you go on to participants at the bottom row. Then, at the bottom of the participants tab, there should be invite, mute
Look,
me,
rename
and
myself.
raise hand. You don't want to click mute me, because otherwise we'll have the same problem as Mia had.
Maybe I can't raise my hand because
You're the host.
hold all the
Because you're
hands. So,
No,
raise
I
your
thought for
hand.
sure it was Saturday.
Raise your hand if you would like more faith.
Oh, me.
And like more faith.
Yeah, if you'd like to have more faith.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a no-brainer, right? And I think that's the thing that we can get into a lot of times is like we would all like to have more faith. But when you think about like how to have more faith, it feels like a more awkward, at least to me, it feels like a more awkward question. I'm lowering all your hands. I'm not saying that you don't want faith, but like it feels to me an easier answer to say like, how do I, or even though it's awkward phrasing, but like, it's not just having more faith. Like you can do more faith. There are things that you can do to increase that faith that are built in. Like I feel like when I think about it that way, it puts these action steps in front of me that I can do. Whereas if I'm just like, how do I have it? It's like I have to go somewhere and look for it and get it. Does that make sense? So what are the do things that you can do? How can you do more faith? How can you faith more?
This isn't exactly answering the question, but I remember
That's right.
hearing.
We've been circling all around it.
But I remember hearing somewhere that faith isn't the opposite of doubt. It's action in the presence of doubt.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to type that in the chat. Okay. So, faith is not the opposite of doubt. It is action in the presence of doubt, right?
Yeah.
That's cool. So what would that look like tangibly in your life? So let's take it from like an abstract idea of like what does that look like? Chris.
Oh. Probably kind of can't really think of an example per se, but
So let's say you're having, I'm not saying that you are, but let's just say that you're having doubt, right? You're doubting that God exists. You're doubting that, something like that. Yeah, let's just say you doubt God exists. How do you have faith in the midst of doubt?
I guess in that case it'd almost be a searching for answers in a sense of rather than taking the agnostic approach of, oh, we'll never know, or something to that effect of actually looking for answers, I guess.
Okay. I think of it like this right here. And I don't think you're wrong. But I think of it like with Indiana Jones, right? And I just feel like there's so many parallels with this leap of faith. You know, he has this kind of realization of what he needs to do. That's not going to work. He has this like realization of what he needs to do. Nope. What am I doing? Here. Okay. Did you see this?
Yeah.
When you pay thousands in tuition.
All right.
Yep.
So you've got Indiana Jones, and he sees this like pit in front of him. By the way, I'm gonna have professional Zoom here pretty soon. We've got a 10-minute warning. He's got this pit in front of him, and he has this moment, like he's looking at it, and he was kind of like panicking before and all that stuff. And so, like, when it comes to that moment right there, I almost tried to pause my Zoom. When it comes to that moment right there, right, he has been struggling with doubt this whole time of like, I don't know if I can take this step or if I can't take this step, right? I don't know if something's going to save me in the midst of that or if I'm going to fall to my death. Like, I'm just kind of unsure right now. But, like, he takes that next step forward anyways, right? He chooses, I'm going to continue to walk forward in the midst of this, even though I have my questions about the process, right? And then it becomes much clearer to him after he lands in, on that brick walkway that was painted the color of the wall in front of him, that, what's going on. And I feel like that's how faith for me has worked a lot of times is, like, I'm unsure of what's ahead, but I'm going to continue to walk forward step by step and just trusting God, right? I think that's what I think of whenever I'm hearing that faith is like, or that quote, is that there can still be doubt in there somewhere as long as that doubt, like you said, is making you pursue truth, right? You're not just throwing away everything because of it. You're continuing to walk in the midst of that and going, God, I don't know where you are in the midst of this or if you're here in the midst of this, but I'm continuing to walk forward. And I think those kind of things increase your faith because you get this like repertoire of all of the times that God has been faithful in the past. And you can continue to walk forward as you're stepping into the unknown and going, I know God has had me every single time along the way. He's asking me to do this now, and I don't know how this is going to work out. I have my doubts, but God has been always faithful in the past, and I can trust and continue to have faith that He's with me in the future. Yeah. So, if we're thinking about this as loyalty, we got 7 minutes left. Share an area of your life where you want to shift your loyalty to Jesus, like from this is what I have to do to like what else can I do, right? Or where is there an area in your life that maybe is loyal to someone or something else right now? There was that quote, or not that quote, but the verse. I think was such a powerful verse. Romans 6:16. Don't you realize that you become a slave of whatever you choose to obey? You can be a slave to sin, which leads to death, or you can choose to obey God, which leads to righteous living. That thing, because we have freedom from sin and death in Christ, we have the choice not to sin, right? Like there is no sin, there's no temptation that God has not provided a way out for, right? Like, because Christ already has the victory and all of that, our hand is not forced to sin at any time. We're choosing in those areas. And so when, we become a slave to whatever to whatever we choose. We can choose to obey sin, or we can choose to obey God. What's an area, and you can be broad, I'm not asking you to like spill all your deep dark secrets, but what's an area where you would like to see more of a surrender of going, I really need to follow God's call on this. I really need to switch my allegiance over. I'll go first. You know, I'm a people pleaser. I think part of just my personality and all that stuff. And so like one of my constant struggles is always making sure that the reason why I'm doing things, like that the motivation for that is Christ, not making other people happy. Right? And so that's something that I always got to go back to is like, am I doing this to make Pastor Arlie happy with me? Or am I doing this to honor Jesus?
It's something I was sort of thinking of, maybe something along that line like the other day. It's like, am I doing good things simply for the sake of goodness? Or am I doing, do all things as unto the Lord? And so am I doing them for Jesus, which is what we as Christians should be doing, or am I doing it just because I'm supposed to do good things, which I think kind of is a good thing, but I think it's falling short of what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
I have to constantly remind myself that, it's good to do good things, but hey, atheists do good things too. I mean, they'll slam the door in your face and say, God doesn't exist. That's why I'm not. But I mean, people who are going to hell are going to do good things. But I mean, that's not go to heaven. But I mean, we as Christians need to do good things, but we need to know our motivation behind it. And I think kind of remind ourselves too.
Yeah. Coming up this Wednesday, for this series that we're going into, there's a couple different books that I'm using to kind of back the series from, but one of them is You Can Change by Tim Chester, and it is God's transforming power for our sinful behavior and negative emotions. And that was there's a quote in here that you just reminded me of. We got 3 minutes left, and I may not be able to find it in time, but it goes through the motivation of why we want to change a lot of times, and how for some of the times we get stuck in this thing where we're trying to prove ourselves to ourselves and like make yourself feel better, in the midst of it. And there is a quote, and I'm trying to remember what it is. It's about hell, actually. It is. I read this to my guys in Bible study last week. I should have highlighted it because it's solid. So someone else keep talking, and I'll jump back in with this.
Does Chris remember it? Was it his Bible study, Chris and Matt?
It was. Chris, do you remember? I think we talked about it 2 weeks ago.
Or Matthew.
What?
Do you remember what quote he's thinking of?
I don't remember him saying a quote.
No, well, Chris is in it. Matthew's not.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry.
No, it wasn't the Friday one.
No.
Okay.
Oh, just kidding.
Was it about the
Yes.
something
yes, that's the one.
something deism? Something
Well,
deism?
Yeah, well, moralistic therapeutic deism. Yeah, that's when we were talking about it, and then I brought in this quote. And I did the exact same thing. I was like, it's in here somewhere. And then I found it. I just don't want to find it right after.
We have less than a
Yep.
minute.
How do you see that?
How do you see the time?
Yeah. I guess I
It's
can't
just a-
see it
I
on
see
mine.
it.
Top. Oh, it might be
Can't
because
see
you're
it
on
on my
phone.
iPad.
Oh.
Whatever.
It's less than a minute, and it's just gonna cut off the call.
So,
Yeah.
I'm gonna paraphrase the quote of the best that I can remember it, and I'm not swearing when I say this. To damn something means to condemn something to hell, right? And the quote is that something like our paths to hell are paved in our own damnable good works, which means like that we get so caught up sometimes in doing good for goodness sake to make ourselves feel better about ourselves, that can pave the way to us in hell because we don't earn our